Many self-employed taxpayers are scrambling right now and they're worrying about whether they'll owe taxes and how they're going to sort through an entire year's worth of mixed transactions. If that sounds like you, take a deep breath. I've got you covered. Today, we're going to walk through the three options you have for tackling your bookkeeping before tax time. And then we're going to talk about the pros and cons of each option so you can choose the one that works best for your situation and for your budget. When you're self-employed, bookkeeping can be difficult, especially if you've mixed business and personal finances, and if you haven't tracked your expenses consistently throughout the year. And the cost for undone books can be high. You might miss out on tax deductions, which means you're overpaying on your taxes. Your records might be disorganized, which could also lead to penalties or trigger an audit. And then don't forget the time that you spend trying to piece everything together at the last minute. But the good news is it's not too late to fix it. So let's take a look at your options. Now, the first option is to do nothing. And I know what you're thinking, that is not even an option. Well, doing nothing is always an option. Some pros of doing nothing is that it's easy because you don't have to spend any additional time or effort on bookkeeping. It's also cheap, at least in the short term. However, the cons are that by not organizing your records, you're leaving money on the table. The average small business owner overpays $3,000 each year in taxes just because they missed deductions and credits they didn't know they qualified for. It could also cost you in penalties and interest if your numbers are off or if you can't prove your deductions. And then let's not forget the stress of handing a messy pile of statements and receipts to your tax preparer. So yes, doing nothing is an option, but it's risky and it's most likely to cost you more in the long run. I don't recommend it. The second option is to handle the bookkeeping catch-up on your own. Now, you can do this either manually using pen and paper, which is going to be a huge drain on your time, or you could use some type of tool to simplify the process. I'm thinking an accounting software like QuickBooks or Xero, or even a simple Excel spreadsheet. Now, option two is a great middle ground solution if you're on a budget. And the primary pro of this option is its affordability. Now, on the other hand, it does require some time and effort. And if you have months of transactions to sort through, it's going to take some focus to get it all done. Also, if your records are pretty messy, you might feel overwhelmed trying to tackle this all on your own. But if you're willing to dedicate some time to getting organized, this option can save you both some stress and some money. Your third option is to let a professional handle the job. This is perfect for business owners who are short on time and want the confidence that comes along with knowing you have an expert performing this task. Now, of course, hiring a professional saves you time, and they'll be able to identify additional deductions or opportunities that you might miss on your own. Your books are going to be clean, accurate, and ready to hand over to your tax preparer, which is going to take a huge weight off your shoulders. But of course, there is an investment involved, and you're going to be responsible for gathering the necessary documents like your bank statements, credit card statements, receipts, and any other documentation that shows transactions that happened in your business throughout the year. But overall, if you're looking for a stress-free option, this is going to be a great option to consider. So now that we've talked about your options for getting your books caught up, let's get to work and walk through how to actually make that happen. First, you'll need to gather all of your documents containing your business transactions for the year. This will include bank statements, credit card statements, receipts, reports from third-party payment processors like PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Stripe, all source documents that show what your business brought in and what it spent for the year. Next, you'll need to go through your documents and determine which transactions are business related versus personal ones. Now, if you had a separate business bank or business credit card account, or if you had a system in place throughout the year to separate your business and personal transactions, then this step will be easy. But if you conducted business and personal activities out of the same account, you'll need to go through those transactions and some way designate which ones belong to the business. Now, you can do this manually by highlighting the business transactions on the documents. If you choose to hire a professional to catch your books up, this is where your work would end. You would just hand them over the documents with the highlighted business transactions. If they had questions, they would reach out to you. However, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and don't want to complete the entire cleanup manually, let me show you a shortcut. There are resources out there that you can use to help make the process a lot easier. Now, this is one I've found to be very reliable, but you need to do your research and find out which application or which tool would work best for you. But I just want to show you how a tool like this can save you tons of time in your bookkeeping catch up. So this app is called DocuClipper. And what DocuClipper allows you to do is to upload bank and credit card statements, invoices, and any other documents. So all of those documents with your business related transactions on them can be uploaded into this app. And what it does is it converts it to any of these file types that you see here. So you can convert your transactions to an Excel file type. You can even, if you are a QuickBooks user, you can convert it to a QuickBooks file. So you are able to upload the transactions to QuickBooks. So you can see how this would save you tons of time versus having to manually enter your transactions either into an Excel spreadsheet or even enter them into QuickBooks Online. Now, your next step is going to be to categorize your business transactions. So when you do your taxes, if you report your business expenses on the Schedule C, you'll see the expenses are broken down into different categories. Use these categories as a guide when you're assigning your business expenses to a category. Now, once you've categorized all your income and expenses, you'll just need to total them for each category. If you imported your transactions into QuickBooks Online and categorized them there, then that application is going to total everything for you. In QuickBooks Online, you'll then be able to print out a profit and loss report that you can use either when you file your taxes online, or you can give the profit and loss report to your tax preparer. Now, if you entered your information into a spreadsheet, you may have to do a little maneuvering with Excel formulas to get everything to total. Or you could use a pre-formatted spreadsheet like the one linked in the description below that will do the job for you. Okay, the final step in getting your books caught up is not to get behind again. It's just so much easier if you set aside an hour each month to do the steps we covered. You won't have to suffer the end of the year stress that comes along with neglecting that task throughout the year. Plus, if you keep up with the task throughout the year, you'll know exactly what your profits are, and you know how much you'll need to pay in estimated taxes during the year so you don't get a big tax bill at the end of the year. So again, no matter which option you choose for catching up your books, whether it's doing it yourself or having a professional to do it, it has to be done if you don't want to be faced with a huge tax bill or worse yet, penalties if you're audited by the IRS. I hope you found value in today's video. If so, I'd love if you consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.